I'll be blunt. Men that are not getting laid or have never been laid, and that's 9 out of 10 men that are not getting laid.
Hold on. What do you think women are more attracted to? Physical fitness, wealth, personality, or confidence?
I think conviction.
Okay.
Conviction and courage go a long way.
What we usually do in sales is role play the crap out of it offsite and just get them used to all the objections.
We do that on boot camp. Yeah, we do a role play.
Yeah.
Sometimes women come in and they can practice, or we just practice with ourselves.
What kind of practice? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Robert, appreciate you coming all the way across the pond for us, buddy.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
You're going to do your usual.
What?
So Brian says there's a guest, and then I don't read anything, and then I throw it in the trash.
Why? You said pickup artist, and I was like, pickup artist.
What are we picking up? Trash?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
We can't say that because picking up artists is like picking up chicks. And that's what I guessed.
Okay.
Yeah. And are we accurate?
That's
are we
a
not
big
accurate?
form of it. It's about picking yourself up. It's about being the best you can be in all areas of life, health, wealth, relationships, and happiness.
Okay.
So we're trying to make people the best of themselves in all them areas. But of course, dating and relationships and family relationships and friend relationships is massive. So we don't just teach pickup artistry, how to attract somebody, but how to keep them in your life as well. But also how to be a social artist, which could be down to also networking.
Yeah, for business
bonding,
and stuff.
everything. Yeah. So we find that a lot of people that come on our events, many years later, they reach out to us again and they're like, I'm a multi-millionaire because I applied the science and the art, because it's science and art mixed together, to business, and I made a load of money.
So what is it in a nutshell?
It's in a
Like, how
nutshell.
long
There's
does
a
it
lot
take-
of nutshells.
well,
There's
how
a
long
lot of
does it take to
science.
learn?
There's a lot of. So I add in my own personal stuff. I add some NLP, neuro linguistic programming, but there's also my business partner, Mystery. He's the most famous for doing it. Had 2 TV shows, and he was in that book, The Game. Well, he's got his science to it, his methods to it: attract, comfort, seduction. And so the way that would work with what we both do is 90% is you attracting, because normally the man has to approach the woman, right? The women rarely approach. They might make indicators to be approached. Which they'll walk near you and turn their back on you and just stand like so. You see,
We got the indicator right there.
yeah, there we go. That was the indicator.
Truth.
They might bump into you accidentally on purpose. They might make a big kerfuffle. Imagine you walking into a kerfuffle, like a big, like you could still go into a bar and put the handbag on the bar and then look at you and you know. But being men, we don't see the signs very easy, you know. So I'm trying to help men see the signs, the indicators of interest.
Gotcha.
Basically. And in a conversation with somebody, if you get 3 indicators of interest, it normally means they're
3 indicators of
Yeah,
interest?
they're
Which
normally-
what are like top 3?
one is they'll ask you about yourself. So what's your name? Where you from? The 3 no questions that we shouldn't ask a woman. Where you're from? What do you do? And who are you, basically?
What should you be asking?
Open-ended questions. Like, for example, I
Like what I just did to you?
well, I like to, one of my ones that I use is, I was chatting to my friend Alison and we were discussing, is it better to be wanted or needed by somebody? What do you think?
Oh, he's playing you. Gotcha, bitch.
Wanted.
Wanted. I agree. I want someone to want me. Your family need you.
Yeah.
Someone wants you. But it's a 2-part question before I go. Attraction or desire, what's more powerful?
See what he did here is he gave you the peace of mind that he's not going to stick around and hound you. He's got to go.
False time constraint.
Exactly. So you're relaxed now. You're like, you know what? This guy's not going to be a creep around me. I can answer the question and he's going to go. But he's not going to go. He's going to ask another question.
Yeah. It's a
I like
2-part
this.
question.
I like this.
It's 2-part. It's still the same question.
And it still parlays into business
Yeah, of course, because you do the same thing.
yeah.
You're knocking on a door or whatever you're doing.
and continue.
Double bind. And
Yeah, I like this. So what were the top 3 indicators a woman likes you?
They'll ask you questions, basically.
Okay.
They might look at your lips.
Okay.
Ask where you're from. They might even check you out. They might start touching you. Kinesthetic. Kino, we call it for short. So just like, not start patting you down, but they might, emphasize as they're talking. So that you play with the hair. But some girls just play with their hair anyway. But if they play with it and indicate to you, they might do it across the room. Like that.
I feel like she's done it.
So my question is this. What if a guy misreads those signs and goes up to a girl? How can they tell right away if those signs were accurate or if they're not accurate?
Well, what we're trying to teach is cold approach. So you shouldn't even be waiting for them signs. If you want to talk to someone, go and talk to them. If you're on a networking event and you want to talk to someone,
You're going to go talk to him.
yeah.
One question I have. So before you go and approach a group of people or an individual, what mindset are you putting yourself in? What game talk are you telling yourself? I guess like before you arrive at the event, how to get yourself in the mood? Because some people are just kind of like mellow and low energy. How do you get your energy level up so that when you get to the event, you're this fun, exciting person so that when you do approach people, you come with that energy? What tricks can you share?
We call that inner game. So it's outer game is talking to people, and inner game is dealing with your demons in your mind. And the best rule is the 3-second rule or the no second rule. Don't think, just do it. And the fear is going to be there. It's always going to be there. We call it approach anxiety. So you might have that in business when you want to network with somebody. So if you do that normally 3 times without trying to think about it.
3 times in one day or
3 times in, say I go to a bar or I'm in a park or wherever I'm playing the game, as it were, then you approach 3 people and your mind realizes that you're not going to die, right? Because it's hardwired in us that we are going to get killed if we talk to a woman from when we were cavemen. Because if you went to the wrong group, the wrong settlement or tribe, and that woman rejects you, that gang might kill you.
Oh, wow.
So it's hardwired. We've just really ahead of time now. Like time's speeding up.
Yeah.
We're in the future right now. So it's still hardwired in our caveman brain, our reptilian side of our brain.
So going a little bit, one step back. I know like no second and 3-second rule is good. Before that, to get you hyped.
Yeah, the problem is the thinking about it. If you think too long, there's an old proverb in a book called The Way of the Hacker Guru or something. I can't remember exactly the name. But this samurai said, if you go around to find your enemy, not that they're the enemy, they're the opposite, but if you go around to find the enemy, lots of obstacles can come in your way. So volume and velocity is the 4th rule that we live by. Volume and velocity. So just do it and you'll find that, and the fear goes away. When you're talking to someone, the fear goes away. And it's a time where if you think about it, you're actually right in the now. You're in the present because your adrenaline's running, your fight, flight, feed or fornicate systems are kicking in. And what you're going to do, you're going to run away or you're going to talk. And it gets easier as time goes by. You learn what people say back to you in responses. And you just find it very natural. It's like a salesperson. If you hire a person that's never done sales before and they're picking up the phone or they're knocking on doors or whatever type of sales they're doing, that first day for them is hell.
What we usually do in sales is role play the crap out of it offsite and just get them used to all the objections.
We do that on boot camp. Yeah, we do a role play.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have women come in and they can practice, or we just practice with ourselves.
What kind of practice? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All above board. And then but the best is just go out and do it. Do it for real. Because learn on the job.
Yeah, in sales, normally it takes you 90 days to go from off the street to like a ruthless killer on the phones of like actual training and like learning objections and learn how to ask open-ended questions, the right type of questions, and follow-up questions.
We've had some guys not make it to the 90 days.
Well, yeah, a lot of people, 80% attrition rate. It's not for everybody. But to your point, how long is the boot camp that you guys
We do 2 days to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's live-in. They can live with us.
Where?
We'll hire a place.
Oh,
and
okay.
we'll
So you guys will
just
get
all live together, whatever city we're in. And they'll live and breathe it with us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll show them how to do it. We'll come into the group with them. We'll open a group for them and bring them in. You know, they'll do it themselves. They'll do it with other wingmen, we call it, on the boot camp. Yeah.
How many guys are usually in your boot camp that you guys?
Anything from 6 to 12, and then we can have bigger seminar components, but taking guys out.
Six
it's hard
is,
with a lot of guys.
I feel like 6 is already pushing the limit.
It is.
Plus
me and another trainer, and sometimes a wing girl or two.
I think women help the most. Like if you have a wing woman with you when you're going out clubbing or when you're going out in bars, a wing woman puts right, Michelle? Yeah. Like when you roll with guys to a club, it's a lot easier for you to talk to women and bring them into the circle and talk.
Well, you can go straight into comfort. You don't have to do the attraction at the start when you're with a woman. The same as a woman speaking to a woman. Oh, I love your hair. If we do that, we're like, oh, creep, weirdo. What does he want? I hope he goes soon. Right? So we have to do attraction. We got to show that we're not that interested. We've got to play this fine line.
What do you find is the biggest hurdle for most of your students?
Approach anxiety. Yeah, just getting on the horse.
Just going to say hello.
Yeah, getting on a motorbike and just going and doing
Brian, who was it on the show that was like, it was Maha. When we had her on the show, it was business related public speaking. And she said, start talking to random people on the street, like old women, old men, people you have no interest in talking to or desire just because it's so easy. And then you'll work your way up to hotter and hotter.
Yeah. That's a way of doing it. I mean, we also speak to mixed groups, so groups with men in it as well. So people think that what we're teaching is just going up and speaking to one girl. A woman is rarely on her own. You have to work the group. You have to speak to the group. So it's normally a free set. We call a set is a certain amount of people in it. Mm-hmm. Group is the normal word, but we have our own lingo as well. So we can speak quickly about what we're going to do. But the group are free. And sometimes there's one man and two girls. How do
you disarm the guy in that group?
Well, usually you include the guy. Mm-hmm. You befriend the guy. The guy's not your enemy. He can choose to be an asshole and you can win him over. But we're really being social. We're the main thing in what we are social artists. So we're just being social, putting in attraction. And normally, I doubt he's dating both of them, but sometimes it happens, right? So if he likes you, he's got another buddy to chat to. And he's not one guy just hanging out with two girls. He's got another man to chat to. And he'll probably encourage the girl to hang out with you as well.
What hour of the night is the strike zone?
What's the prime time? Power hour.
From 10 p.m. start time to 2 a.m. Well, LA, everything shuts down at 2. So
everything in LA shuts down at 11.
I know, but let's assume it's 20 years ago and it's 2 a.m.
Okay, fine.
What's that target strike zone?
I would say early, there's just after work where everyone meets.
So 6 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And then also the start of a bar or a club when it starts to get busy, maybe 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. Before
so that's
it gets
the time,
crazy.
optimal time?
Well, there's also another time, which is right at the end, the last hour. Mm-hmm. And I call that power hour. Mm-hmm. So you've got 3 chances in a day.
Okay, so you got the after work.
You've got all the chances, but this is
But these are prime time. So supermarket, gyms, waste of time?
You can, but I mean, gym would be all right, but then you can look like a creep doing it, And
You're not the best idea.
Yeah. Supermarkets, nah, it doesn't really work.
So all the advice you hear online, supermarkets are a great place to pick up people, gyms are great people. They're all.
I disagree.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. I've done all areas, but I think parks are good. But is it a park culture here?
Not really.
No.
So name your top 3 best spots for meeting people.
A cocktail bar.
Okay.
A rooftop. Like a rooftop bar.
Yeah, we got plenty.
Because it feels like you're in and outside at the same time. So we call that day game and night game.
Okay.
And social events like someone's party would be the best. Or host your own every week. Every Thursday, you're having a party.
you know what you're thinking about? The Thursday night dinners.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's funny.
Where's my invite?
You know, long story.
I'm technically blacklisted
Yeah,
currently.
Okay.
yeah. Your invites right now. Yeah.
I told someone.
So
to
tell
go
us
fuck
more.
themselves.
This is a really interesting, cool concept. So tell us more. How'd you get started in this? What like brought you into it?
I needed it for myself. I was a virgin at 19, and I needed to learn. So there wasn't much out there.
You grew up in Europe?
I grew up in London, yeah.
Okay. It's a
Yeah.
lot easier, I think, in Europe to meet people than in the States, no?
You'd think. But everyone says, oh, it's much harder elsewhere. The grass is always greener. It's not. Attraction is not a choice. So it works everywhere.
What do you think
But
women
not
are
all
more
the time.
attracted to?
Nothing's 100% in life.
What do you think women are more attracted to? Physical fitness, wealth, personality, or confidence in men?
I think conviction.
Okay.
Yeah. Conviction and courage go a long way. And when you're talking about money, it's just protection. Have you got the mind to be able to protect someone in scenarios? So one of the hierarchies like shelter and food, isn't it? Can you provide that? Don't necessarily want your money. Another big one is status. Status is quite powerful. That's why people in positions end up with their secretaries or whatever, you know. So because their status. But in the real world, would you see that happen? I don't know. It depends if they've got, you know, a skill set to attract.
Because you see a lot of guys like rent Lambos or rent like Rolls Royces, and they go around thinking that that's going to help them get chicks. What do you think the top 3 things men can do to be able to get chicks?
Well, I think apart from learning what to say, how to act, what to do, and having the guts to go and do it, which I call the 5 C's: confidence, congruency, calibration, conviction, and courage. If you have all them, you've got a good head start. But normally most people don't have that. So I think, you know, dressing well helps. You know, get into your fashion. Just at least get the right color scheme for yourself. You know, hire someone for fashion. We also help on the boot camp with all areas of lifestyle. But also get your health in order. That's really important. And a little bit of biohacking I find is good as well.
What's biohacking?
So, you know, taking the right supplements, doing the right things that help you, you know.
Keep Jimmy up?
You know, yeah. It helps with your testosterone, I guess.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Michelle.
I mean, I wouldn't say I go to extreme. I just take caution of things like, you know, not having fluoride in your toothpaste.
Fluoride, Makan.
Listen, this fluoride thing keeps haunting me.
Florida's
It's
about
a
to ban.
sign.
It lowers your IQ. Yeah, I get it. But every time I cut out fluoride from my toothpaste, the shit stops working. Like the toothpaste just doesn't work. And then I have to like switch on to a little bit of fluoride and then go back to no fluoride. And then... So anyway, that's where that comes from.
Yeah, I understand.
We have so many
yeah.
doctors on the show. They're like, cut out fluoride. I'm like, yes. I cut it out for a week and I'm like, damn, I'm getting cavities. And then I got to go back to fluoride.
Bro, you don't feel a fucking cavity coming.
Anyways, you were
No,
saying?
I know the plight of it, but I find
5 C's we were talking about.
Yeah. So 5 C's. So as long as you have the courage to go and talk to someone, you've got your game plan. We call it your structure.
For the night?
Yeah. So your structure of how a timeline from meet to love. We can say love if you're looking for love. Is that we have that timeline. Then you fill in.
What is that timeline? Like, how long is that timeline?
About, I would say what I'm teaching is about 5 hours to know someone. It could be 10. 5
In
hours
5
of
hours,
time.
you can get a woman.
Consecutive, or you're saying 5 hours?
No, accumulate it
Got it,
together. Yeah. Sometimes you have to go back a bit if it's a new date. You know, we call that a day 2, a date. Because the first day is when you meet someone. That's your first impression. And then the material to fill in the structure. And then you have to practice the delivery of it.
I'm lost. Can you pretend like he's a hot chick?
Oh, shit.
Well, the wanted or needed is one way to start. So
Yeah.
I do that. So where were we? Attraction or desire? What's more powerful? And remember, you can ask a group this. There can be men in this group. You can ask this at a networking event.
Oh, I'm supposed to answer this?
Yes.
Attraction.
Attraction. Why?
Well, there's got to be the physical or emotional attraction.
Well, the way I see it is if you look around the bar, there may be a few people you're attracted to, but it takes a long time to find someone you really, really desire, don't you think?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you agree. And then you can stack forward to another thing that you want to say something that interests, make an observation or a statement. There's loads of avenues to go there. You want to inject a bit of humor in as well. Like they're the second best shoes I've seen today. She might, who's got the first? This guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad you laughed. It means you've got a sense of humor to go with your looks. You know?
he brings up. This guy recently broke up, right? So he's recently single. And when we go out, I have this thing about calling him the number 2 most successful plastic surgeon in all of Newport Beach.
There you go then.
That's his
Oh
title.
no, it gets better. It gets better.
And then we had a dentist with us once. And
No, but when girls, you always have the question of, what do you think the number 1 most requested cosmetic?
let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. We're veering off way
getting
off
the
track.
gist, though.
Yeah, you're getting the gist. But
a long
anyway,
story.
you mentioned the number 2 most prettiest shoes in their club. I mean, I use the number 2 most successful plastic surgeon in all of Newport Beach.
What, the
And
number-
everyone's like,
See, that's
why
funny,
is he
right?
not?
Is
Why
it
is he not
funny?
number 1? I'm like, I don't know. He's
Or
just not that good.
Or the number 2 dentist in
It's only
Riverside.
part-time.
He's having a hard time catching up to number 1. But anyway, you know what the number 1 most popular cosmetic procedure is?
What is it?
Yes.
Uh,
The number 1 most performed cosmetic procedure.
Botox.
No.
What is it?
Anal bleaching.
Is it?
Yes. And that's what his practice does all the time.
With women?
That's
or...
why he's number 2. Anyway, sorry.
That's all right.
You brought up
Is that a true fact? Then?
what part? The skit is true.
Yeah.
Him being a plastic surgeon in Newport Beach is not.
No.
He's
The
number
anal
1.
bleaching is that?
Anal bleaching may or may not be. It has not been verified. We're not sure.
We're still checking the stats.
We're
on
still, the jury's out on that. We don't know yet. Anyway, so please continue.
I hear that line coming. I'm like, fuck.
No, because he said the number 2 most.
No, I'm saying when
attractive
we were
shoes.
out, I'd be like, oh shit, here it comes.
He loves it. I'm his
It
wingman.
helps, right? It
I'm
gets
his
you-
wingman.
yeah,
I'm married.
there
I
you go.
can't do shit, so I can just kind of
you
help him boost
out.
him up.
Open up the group for him.
I guess that's what
Yeah.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Open it up for you. Look, it makes you high value because you're a plastic surgeon. It makes you attainable because you're not number 1, you're number 2. So like, right? It's got all the elements.
Have you met Dr. Bendover?
We had him on the show. We had him on the show too. Oh my God. He's hitting every single line item. Okay, so let's go over the 5 C's again.
You're still lost on the 5 C's, which is the
I
best
am
part.
lost. That's what he was playing, like working you with the 5 C's.
We got Michelle too.
Michelle, yeah. So let's go over the 5 C's again. You were practicing the first one, right?
So there's confidence, congruency, calibration, conviction, and courage.
Okay.
Yeah. But all these give you are competence of what you're doing. So as long as in the course of a weekend or 4 days, they're learning the structure, the timeline. They're learning the material to fill it in. They're learning DHV stories, demonstrations of higher value stories to talk about
Plastic
yourself.
surgeon.
Yep, exactly. Perfect. And they're trying to make girls laugh as well.
Can you give me an example of some demonstrating high value conversations?
Yeah. So, you don't want to there's a problem with boasting.
Yeah, you have to underdo it.
Yeah. So it's just stories that you're saying matter of factly, but it's hitting things, you know, like, I had lunch at the W or Nobu or something, and this guy came over to the bill was paid, and this guy called me over, and I was like, oh, sorry, I don't let guys buy me dinner that I don't know, and he called me in closer like this, and I was like, and I'm like, okay, and he's like, no, come closer, and I'm like, if he kisses me, I'm gonna go berserk, and he goes, I have no clue what you're talking about. And so it's just a funny story that the girl will laugh and then you can like high five or whatever.
And she got the fact that you're at Nobu.
Yeah, Nobu
Gotcha.
and so on, and you know, people are buying me dinner, and it's just fun stories. And you can exaggerate more. You can make your own up. But what we like to do is put people's real life stories in and make them hit the waypoints and the funny laughter tracks. But so a lot of people that come on the courses, they're in their own heads. And they have to be out their heads. So their humor's stunted. They've had we deal with a lot of mental health. You know, suicide's massive in men. So we're trying to really help with that. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of cases where eventually on the course, they'll open up to us. You know, we have a lot of tears for happiness, joy, and for sadness, and relief that, oh my God, I can actually do something about this.
How do you unlock the humor?
I'm like a laugh track, just joking with them, you know. The second best shoes one is funny. You know, high five. I don't trust anyone I haven't seen 360 degrees. Give us a spin.
Got it.
You know, just funny things. And also, moving people around helps. So if you're chatting to someone, you go, and the music's loud. Let's go to the bar. And then I might lock in. This is quite attractive. If she's leaning in, speaking to you and ignoring the rest of the bar, she's not going to get distracted with that. Also, you look cool because it looks like a girl's chatting you up. What we try not to do is get the guy, because, you know, sometimes guys come in and they lean over the woman like this and trap the woman in. Yeah. We're not doing that. The woman always has the choice. So at the end, when we get to the seduction part, it's actually the woman seduces you.
Because you've
you've demonstrated so much value as well. And there's instant value, like doing magic that you can do. If you can sing in her ear. Mm-hmm. You know,
he's a good singer.
Yeah,
no.
Either am I.
He's the worst.
No. Even an attempt at playing the guitar when you get back.
He doesn't know how to do magic. He doesn't know how to sing. What other high value?
Well, magic can be learned very easily, so that's a bonus.
He can make money disappear like nothing, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he's really good about that.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. You should see him like when you go shopping. He makes money disappear faster than you can think.
What do I go buy?
Are you into your fashion?
No. This guy?
No.
Lululemon is his like closet.
All the bottoms are Lululemon.
They are. Yeah.
Or Monster.
Monster's free. Lululemon. See how much like high value I'm throwing. Okay. So what else? I like all these little. Oh, let me ask you this. I had another question. There are some women that are looking for relationships. Do you guys have any women in the course?
I teach women as well. It's about 5% seers for women. We're trying to ramp that up.
Same with our demographics. It's like 95% men, 24 to 45, and then it's like 5% women that watch the show. So for that 5%.
I really enjoy it. And women ask different questions. They ask more emotional questions. Mm-hmm. So like when men are, that's why I'm saying like when we're practicing the routines and stories on each other, it's harder to do on a guy, you know, because we're thinking logically.
Yep.
Right? Where the women are thinking emotionally, and they have emotions about their emotions, right? So it's really hard to navigate. So you got to stick to your timeline, your material, bring it back to you. But with a man, they're not thinking like that. Some of them don't even understand the questions they're asking. So I try to get them to visualize why that is.
It almost seems like if you're in a club with a couple of guys that have been trained by you versus the general public, like they don't stand a chance.
No,
you guys are like trained pros versus like civilians going out there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. We call it AFC.
What's AFC?
Average frustrated chump.
Average frustrated chump.
Yeah.
I think we call them pros versus civilians in the world, like in the mix.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna say beta.
Or the Harry Potter term.
Betas.
Muggles, non-magic users.
Oh, I didn't watch Harry Potter. I think I'm like the only one.
I think I watched the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not missing that much.
Okay.
That happens. So how do you apply?
I was giving him an awkward silence to see how we would break it, but you ruined it. Thank you. Go ahead with your question.
I'm good with awkward silences.
Sometimes I was trying to see how long we could go.
Sometimes you want to put tension into the attraction.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to try again later.
So you can do things like as maybe a girl will go silent because a lot of time they expect the man to lead the conversation because they want a man to lead, be more dominant. And with the awkward silence, I can do something called triangle gazing, where you look from eye to lips.
Eye to lips, and then
slowly. If you do it too fast, it's like, what's going on?
What does that do? The eye to eye.
It induces more the idea of maybe he wants to kiss me or I want to kiss him, and so they start looking at your lips.
Don't fucking do that to me. Okay.
That's why I try not to do it too long to you. And I've moved on.
Gotcha.
If it feels weird, then it's working.
Interesting. Okay.
Between men, those.
I can't stare at this guy anymore.
So what? I mean, do you remember a time where you went out and you were trying to attract as well, like when you were single? Do you remember a time when you were get the guts to do this, or was you always?
When I used to go party in LA, this was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. LA scene was great. My friends were promoters, so it was a different environment when you know the venue,
Indeed.
you know the people, the DJ there.
It's like playing on your home turf.
Same group, and you're there every single week, and like you know half the club.
Yeah,
it's a lot more fun. And then you have your friends that you go with, like a group. It was a lot more fun. It's a lot more difficult, I think, if you're on your own in a new city and you want to go in and kind of like approach people.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that we teach is social circle game. So I was meeting so many people when I started getting good at it. I was 8 years in by then.
Wow.
And
how many years have you been doing it?
29.
29 years?
Yeah, I'm 47.
Wow, you don't look it at all.
Thank you.
29 years you've been at?
Yeah, is it 8? It's 28 or 29. So I started in 96.
Wow.
Maybe I'm doing the maths wrong, but yeah, it's
That's
around
impressive.
that. I'm trying to forget how many years I've been doing it. Longer than I haven't, my whole adulthood. So my brain is wired that way. And so 8 years in, I wanted to go to the VIP clubs, and you have to get in with women. But I knew a lot of women by then, lots. So I said to the club, listen, I'm going to bring a load of women in. Could you just let us all in free? And they said, okay. So the first night I brought 33 women. And they were like, we can't get all these people in. There's too many. And I'm like, okay, well, how many can you get in?
Are these average women or hot women?
No, hot. Yeah, there's face control in London. So are they cool? I would ask. And in the VIP clubs, anyway. So then we'd bring them to. So then I would ask another club to let others in. So I'd be running 2 clubs near each other. And then the biggest, most famous club called China White. I think it was the most famous in the world for like 10 years. And where all the celebrities would go from all over. If you were in London, like Leo would go there and so on. And so by that time, a year in, I was bringing 100 women into the place where I had the biggest table, free drink, got paid for every woman, had a retainer that I would do there every Saturday. And I had a place in the VIP room next to the owner that I could bring, the extra special people in. And I found that great because that was another revenue of income, quite a big one. I could also run my events there where the guys could meet lots of girls. But social circle game also, puts you in contact with more people. So it grows and grows and grows. And then I ended up having the second biggest club promotion company in the whole of London and running about 10 clubs a day. And one club would finish at 3. I'd bounce them to a late night club, 3 to 6, and I get paid twice. And we'd bring other people from that club to the next one. So it grew really big. So yeah, social circle game is it, but you've got to start out with the cold approach. They're not just going to materialize out of nowhere. So you have to start.
You got to put in a lot of work.
You've got to put in the work at the start, but the work is fun. Enjoy the process.
Are you still promoting at all or no?
I do it like once a month now because it wore me out.
Yeah, it does.
I'm getting older. It wore me out.
The long nights, the drinking, the partying.
Exactly. I don't drink it. I stopped drinking 2 months ago. I might have the odd beer, but I stopped drinking 2 months ago and it's done me the world of good.
We should celebrate have a drink tonight.
I'm going to use that one. And I'm very much into my health and you need the energy to do it. You're just going to be tired for work the next day. So I run that course of things. And we don't promote drinking on the event anyway. You can, don't get drunk. But you can drink on it. Dutch courage, they call it. But yeah, we try and make people better people when they come. And we find that actually men that do our course are more respectful to women from being on it. They come thinking they're getting one thing and they get another.
What are they
Don't
thinking
get what
they're
you
gonna
want, get what you need.
What do they get?
they're getting they're really starting to like themselves and love themselves, but respecting people and getting to know people and not being a creep. You know, so some men coming in and they're saying derogatory things. We reframe that straight away. That's not how we speak about people, and show them the light of it. And another thing that we've done is we've traveled the world meeting other people that teach PUA, pick-up artistry. And we're reframing them to do it the correct way. So we're teaching the teachers how to really do it.
What is the correct way?
Well, not to be like direct, too forceful, hang around. If someone says no, they say no. There's plenty more people to speak to. How to do it in the right way. Not insult someone if they reject you. You know. So then, and let the woman choose. Do you want to be the chaser or be the one that's chased? Right? I want to be the one that's chased. So, do a lot of attraction, build comfort, rapport, connection, commonalities with people. And there's ways of doing it. And NLP helps a lot with that as well.
I've seen a lot of videos now from Dan Bilzerian. I guess he kind of like shifted his business model also to becoming a groomer.
Yeah, I think...
Not a groomer. No, you can't use that word anymore. I meant like a trainer for, I guess, like pick up women.
I think he's just using Mystery's method, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it because Mystery.
A lot of people use his method.
His method is what? It used to be called the pickup artist, but is it something different now?
We call it Mystery 2.0.
Okay.
And I'm teaching Supernatural Game. So that's
two separate strategies?
Yeah, that link extremely well together. They're symbiotic, if anything. So you're getting like two experts for the price of one.
Yours is mainly, what are you teaching mainly?
So I'm teaching, we teach all of it.
Yeah.
But we just got different
area of expertise, I guess, or focus.
So Mystery's indirect. I'm sort of more semi-direct, so I'm a bit more cheeky, a bit more high energy as well, a bit more dance.
Can you give us an example of Mystery's style?
Yeah, well, that is the attraction, comfort, seduction. So the attraction, the phases is like A1 to A3, C1 to C3, and S1 to, and I'll explain what it is.
Okay.
S1 to S3. And so the attraction is, A1 is just opening, talk to the girl. That's the first step you have to do. The second is get an IOI, so get attraction, by asking the right question, being funny or interesting, or instant value demonstration, which might be magic, and then build comfort with them by telling stories. You might want to tell a grounding story. So C1, you might want to then say, hey, let's go and get a drink or take a seat or go somewhere more quiet to have a chat. I want to tell you something about yourself. And then you will move to a more comfort location instead of just like standing around. And then you'll want to start building rapport with stories or commonalities. And a grounding sequence would be talking about maybe something you did when you were younger, a child, so they just feel a bit more knowledge about your past and so on. And again, you can ask questions about theirs, and you're really now getting to know each other. You're a bit past the attraction flirting stage, even though it's still the whole timeline. And you're now really getting to know each other. And it's quite deep. It goes for many, many hours.
And that's Mystery style?
It's both styles.
Yeah. Was that yours as well?
He has different things he says. I have different things I say. Now we both say each other's stuff because we've been traveling the world for 17 years.
Wow.
Doing it. So what we did is basically we bumped into each other. I was running the clubs and doing my own events.
In London?
I was the first pickup company, if you want to call it that, lifestyle company in England doing it. And Mystery came and he wanted to meet people that are like-minded and he wanted to train people, but he was doing a book tour. So on that book tour, I gathered together maybe 80, 100 people. He gave a talk. We hung out afterwards. We met some girls and we just thought, well, we like hanging out. Let's do another boot camp. Let's do a boot camp together, an event. We did that. It was amazingly successful. And then we just kept doing them. And then 17 years later, we're still doing them.
Wow.
So yeah, changing lives. And it's great because we bump into people constantly that say, hey, these kids are because of you. This is my wife. And they're having pictures with the wife, the kids. I'm called Uncle Bobby all the time now. And so is Mystery. Godfathers to loads of kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Get invited to weddings all the time and everything. People really get pick up artistry the wrong way. And there are lots of people out there teaching just pickup. There's no art to it. They're just trying to get the girl any way they can and being forceful or rude. And they've got the wrong end of the stick. And that's why we went around the world reframing people and doing joint ventures with them to show them how to do it.
But we also liked the information because you could take all this information, and if you have a business mindset, you can apply it straight to business.
Like literally carbon copy.
Yeah. Even in military, because the CIA has a lot of the same techniques when they're trying to, I guess, get information from their targets.
Asking open-ended
questions. And as far as like building, what's it
Rapport.
called?
We've had them on our courses. We've had celebrities on our courses. We've had every walk of life.
Really?
Yeah, every person you can think of, from a student to billionaires to people I would mention that in LA that are like big, massive marketers. What are we talking about? I'll tell you. Perfect. But so high network individuals and people from military and so on. So yeah.
Military for military purposes or for picking up chicks?
I think they used it for both in the end. But
I think if you're like a Navy SEAL, I mean, you don't need it much.
Right? At the start they don't tell us, and then we have someone who does secret operations that he's been on 3 events now.
Wow.
With us and lived with us for 2 weeks.
How long have you known Tim Kennedy? No, I'm kidding. He's a good dude. That's his boy. He's good friends with him.
Oh. But it's like you said at the beginning, though, a lot of these guys come in for the pickup part, and it ends up making them even more successful.
Yeah, successful, better around people, safer.
Well, you've mentioned that a couple times. What do you mean by that?
Men, I'll be blunt, men that are not getting laid or have never been laid, and that's 9 out of 10 men that are not getting laid.
Hold on.
Up to what age?
There's 3 of us here. Okay, 9 out of 10 means.
Well, more. I would say more when in the younger years. Like 20s is notorious for it.
Okay, you were saying 9 out of 10 that don't get laid,
or struggling to get anyone in their life. They're very lonely and they start thinking negatively towards women. Some people call it the red pill or whatever. I don't know what to call it. I that term was not around when I was teaching this stuff. I just call it loneliness,
what is
depression.
I know from the Matrix, and I know like Republicans, Democrats, you have the red pill, blue pill, but what does that mean in the pickup world?
I mean, it can mean many things. It's just telling how women really think. But I mean, I wouldn't consider myself any pill. I'm just be better than you were yesterday. Pill, whatever pill that is.
Got it.
Take all the pills.
But you were saying, as far as safety, men are...
So that can turn men dangerous. Like, are they going to, someone in uni shooting up a uni? Is someone that's going out and committing crimes against women? Things like that. We don't want that. Is it they going to jump off a building and kill themselves? These things are real life problems happening, and people are like, pick up artistry, what a load of rubbish. No, this is saving lives. This is saving loneliness. This is saving depression. It's having kids that are born. There's probably kids out there that have kids now that we made because I've been doing it so long. So, it is. I think it's a very, very good thing that exists in the world that is not, that people think might be bad because they have no concept, they have no realization of what it really is, and there are many bad eggs out there teaching it that are giving it a bad name. So we're trying to change that. We're trying to make it from not underground but overground. It should be taught in schools how to socialize and network.
Do you feel social media has made this problem even worse?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, people getting cancelled, Me Too movement. I know people that do my job that have been deplatformed for no reason whatsoever, just because they were attacked by certain movements, and they stopped all their income coming in because they got the companies to ban them that were doing the paywalls and so on, and they've killed themselves. These are people that are trainers. 2 trainers I know have died in 2 years.
How long does it
let
take
alone
to
the people that want to do this? And the thing is, when people put people off doing this, we can't help them because they think maybe it doesn't work or we're bad people or so on. And so that will stop people coming to us that need our vital help. But there's a lot of free stuff on the website that to help you with your mental illness or depression or whatever, or your anxiety as well that they can get to. So don't feel you just have to give money to get out of this. There's hope out there, you know.
So are you saying most of your students, like what majority of them, are they coming in? Is it because they have some sort of like mental issue?
I think there's many boxes that they fit. Not too many, but the main one is loneliness, want a girlfriend. That a lot of people might come in a bit cocky as well, which is a show. And they'll be like, yeah, I just want to meet loads of women. As soon, and this is the majority, I'd say 80 to 90% this happens. As soon as they've done the course and they meet a woman that really likes them back, that's it. They're out. They're out. And they don't want that woman to know that I've taught them normally. So they defriend me on Instagram.
That's funny.
And then a couple of years later, they're single again. And they're back. And I said, the rule is, don't date don't get in a relationship for the first year. Find your feet, find yourself. Don't just go for the first woman that likes you. A woman doesn't do that to a man either. You have to qualify people. That's what we do when we meet them as well. We teach qualification.
What are some examples of qualification?
Well, they can be fun ones. They can be false ones as well. But for example, you can say, it's really strange because we've been chatting for about 10 minutes now. And before I get to know someone deep inside, I've got this 3 criteria I normally go by. But I can only tell you if you're open-minded and friendly. Are you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Am I open-minded? No.
And friendly?
No.
No? Oh, then I can't tell you. That's the qualification failed.
Failed. Yes,
But
I'm super friendly.
They normally will say
Yeah,
that.
I know. I'm super friendly, super open-minded.
Yeah, and then you say, well, I don't like girls that wear too much makeup, but a little bit's okay.
Oh, okay.
And there's a test. If you
you're
put a
negging
kiss
my
here, yeah,
Okay, keep going with the test.
you put a kiss here and it leaves a lipstick mark, you're obviously wearing too much.
Ah.
They may kiss your hand, they may kiss their own hand.
Can you put your hand
But
here?
it's a
No.
fun.
I'm joking.
Or if you move it close enough, no. And this second criteria, I love girls with lush smelling hair.
Lush smelling hair.
Yeah, good
Okay.
smelling hair. They might say, oh, what's mine
But
like?
you know, women don't shampoo their hair all the time, so they might like
They
get
just
all...
wash and go.
Yeah, well, sometimes. Michelle, how often you wash your hair? Not to put you on the spot. Once a week. And then if she's going to Korean barbecue, she's like, fuck, I just washed my hair.
It smells like poo. Shampoo. That's my little
That's a
joke.
good one.
Yeah, I think
Poo.
so. Yeah, poo. Shampoo. I've got videos on YouTube of me actually doing this as well.
Oh,
So
really?
you can check it out. So smelling, and then you can smell the hair. Maybe you want to...
You know who did that? We had a president that did that.
I know who you're on about.
The old one.
Yeah, I know who you're on about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not in that creepy way.
Oh, okay.
If they offer up and it's in the
okay.
flirting range.
Gotcha.
So that's where the calibration of the C's come in. You've got to calibrate.
Ooh.
Or
Well, you
we
gotta
call it
know-
micro calibration.
Shit, the calibration's important. Got it.
Micro expressions, 1/8 of a second. So you can see if someone's like adverse to something or not.
Why
So
look
you
at
don't
me?
want to...
I'm trying to calibrate
So you can then snip and stack. Hey, even better than that. And then go on to a new thread of conversation. But normally they're in for it. They want to qualify. It's a fun game. It's different to what every other man's saying to them. So yeah, does my hair smell nice?
Let me ask you a question.
The
Personal question.
and the third is,
Okay.
I like girls with good taste in shoes. But do you know why?
Why?
Because good shoes indicate good taste in underwear, don't you think?
Good taste in underwear.
Yeah, don't you think? Sometimes, yeah.
No, it's like the anal
But
bleaching.
you can say no.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't never date.
It was on MTV, so I don't know.
It must be true. It was on TV.
That's my little joke if it goes, yeah. And it's a fourth, but I only tell special people. Would you consider yourself special?
Yeah.
Okay, come over here because it's a secret. And then, I might lean back, see if she leans in.
Oh, so it's playful stuff.
Yeah, it's all playful, cheeky, playful, indirect, a
Is
little
there a
bit.
certain age group where this will work with and it won't with women? Because I feel like younger, like under 30s might be a little playful, but then when you get to like the more like
No,
40,
I think it works better when women are like 28 to like, beyond after that.
Yeah, but is there a calibrated like a
Because they
routine?
understand, this person knows what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This is just some idiot coming up to me trying to buy me a drink.
Gotcha.
Buying
I
a
feel
drink
like-
is buying the girl.
There's different sets for different age groups.
They're
right?
not buyable. They're attractable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the flirting, the mating dance. That's what we're doing. Showing that we're calibrated and we have courage. Most men just go, do you want a drink? You're hot.
Oh, it's easy.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's like the 100th guy that night.
Yeah, exactly. You're just going to fade into blandness. And give every other man a bad chance that night. That's why I say get in early. Before it's ruined.
You could ruin it for everybody. Get in early, ruin it for everybody. Leave, have your
we
buddy
can do
come
that.
in.
That's
single,
a tactic as well.
Have your buddy that's single come in and be like, this guy's a fucking rock
Did
star.
you see that last guy? What an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And
And as you walk by, pretend to hit him with a fake. No, joking.
That's a good idea, Brian. I'll go in.
Is this creep bothering you?
Everybody off.
And then I just
And then
walk
you
in.
go in as like the savior.
Hey, it's one game plan, I guess.
Might work.
I think it'll work.
Should work.
We'll get you married again. 3 times the charm. Got you. Have you ever
The
been married?
the best people I know that this have a laughter track. So
Have a what?
they make people laugh. Right?
Laughter track?
Yeah, they're making people laugh all the time.
I know, but you said something, a laughter track?
Laughter track, like a comedian.
Oh.
So some of the stuff we use, like opening a set, is a comedian opens the night.
Got it.
So we're using different sciences and different arts all in one. There's many that we've put in. Body language, eye accessing cues. So, you know, we follow when people are thinking in their head. Are they lying? Are they making up stuff? Are they audio? Are they feeling it? You know, there's different accessing when they're accessing their brain.
We're trying to get a CIA guy that does facial recognition, not facial recognition, but like studies like your facial expressions.
Yeah.
And trains CIA agents how to like read people if they're lying, telling truth.
Amazing.
Where did you guys learn how to do that?
Yeah, that's NLP, neuro-linguistic programming.
Does it all come from NLP? Like a lot of the techniques?
No, definitely not. But
Like
there is a science of it. Like the first guy that I ever heard of was called Ross Jeffries, and he had speed seduction, and he's very NLP. So I've took that into myself as well. But I went out and learned NLP for myself, and then I've tried my own style after 6 months because I'm more night game. He was more day game. So he's more coffee shops and stuff like that. So then I would bring my style into the clubs, which is a bit more dynamic and emotional openers and things that make people laugh.
It's hard though, isn't it?
And I'm amusing myself, and I have freedom from outcome. If you're wanting something from them, they're going to feel that. I don't want any. I just want to give some fun, give some laughter. And if they're into me, great. And I'm not out for numbers. In my 20s, I was out to, you know, I was a virgin at the time, and I was like, I just want to get laid. I just want to get it out of my system. So I had fun sowing my seeds in my 20s. And in my 30s, I was being a lot more qualifying, getting the right people in my life. I've had lots of long-term relationships as well. So some we meet people together, you know, meet girls together, and some I was monogamous. So I've lived all the styles of life. I've been in a throuple, three-way relationship.
A what?
A throuple.
4 people?
Three people.
One guy?
Me and 2 girls.
Okay.
Yeah. And everyone got along, and they had their dates without me sometimes. Yeah. So we tried that, you know, just
How long did
seeing
that
what
last?
it likes. That lasted 2 years.
Who broke
And
up?
one before, but there was one for a year, and then there were 2 years with both of them, and then 2 years with one after.
Interesting.
Yeah, because one got jealous. So I've done that. I've scratched that off my tick list. You know?
What's on the checklist now?
Maybe children.
Are you married now?
No, and you can't prove it. No, I'm not married.
She'll deny it.
I don't think I'm gonna get married. I might.
Do you want to adopt kids?
But-
Do you want to have kids, or what's your?
I have kids. Yeah.
Oh, you have
But
kids.
I would have kids.
Okay.
And maybe I'd even adopt. Yeah. I'm
And you would teach how early?
quite
would you
easy
teach your
going,
kids
you know.
some of these techniques.
Yes, definitely would.
At what age would you like teach the kids these techniques?
Well, just teaching them to be social is really important. And also by teaching them this, I'm teaching them business, getting them in. I wish I knew business a long time ago. You know, I worked for the government till I was 29, and I regret that. But I was studying the stuff and going out every night, and you know, on my lunch break, sleeping, catching up on sleep because there's no time to do everything. So it's like having 2 jobs. And I I got really good and I mastered it. And then someone came to me and said, listen, we're starting a company in London and it's going to be the first pickup company in England. Would you be the head coach? And I'm like, I'm in. And then maybe a year later, 6 months to a year later, at my job, I asked for some time off because my best friend got a brain tumor. And I said, I just need some time off. You don't have to pay me. I just need a week to process this whole situation. And they said no. And I said, you know what? I quit. And I just took the opportunity to start my own business. And I never looked back. And it was the best thing I ever did.
Was it this? What you're
Yeah,
doing now?
this. And then with that came a bit of the club promotion.
Yeah.
And then I was doing them in tandem. And then I realized the club promotion involved too much alcohol and late nights that I had to slow that down. Because you can you can meet people and you don't have to stay up late meeting people. You can meet them in the day. You can meet them in the evening.
How many students are you teaching now?
As in on a normal boot camp?
Yeah.
6 to 12 people.
No, like right now, like you have an ongoing boot camp? With...
I have regular students I see. And some of them I'm taking to what we call 5th level of game, which is like being famous for something. So like one of them's a singer, another was turned into an A-list actor. They both reside in LA. And a few businessmen that have focused only on business and then realized, damn, I didn't focus on relationships part of my life. You ever play that game Trivia Pursuit where you have to it's like a piece of pie, and you cut a pie into many sections. Pickup is just one of those sections, but business is one, right? Health is another.
Yeah.
So a family is another.
Do you guys have a boot camp in LA?
No, don't have a boot camp in LA. But we do travel the world doing them. I just came because I thought it'd be an amazing podcast to come on. I've got lots of friends here. I've got a few other things to do as well. I've got a high net worth individual party to go to in Beverly Hills.
If you do need any plastic surgery work, I do know the number 2 most successful plastic surgeon in all of Newport Beach.
I've heard of him.
Yes.
Funny guy, huh?
But I don't need any bleaching.
Okay.
So we meet every type of person, and it's great because they become it's such a bonding experience. These guys really, you bond with them massively, and you feel like they're your friends afterwards. And many of them do repeat stuff. You become a mentor for them as well. And I just find it extremely rewarding.
And then
my mum loves what I do, and that's all good. Like, so whenever we do anything, I'm like, could my mum watch this? I still might have to bleep some of this out.
We do the same. Yeah, I mean, my mom.
But Mystery's got a daughter and a son, so obviously whatever he says as well, or us together, that has to be acceptable for them. So we're above board. We're in check. By lots of women keep us in check. And
where do people find you guys?
Or find you?
attractionunleashed.com. We have a school group. You can come in. It's free. The school forums.
SKOL.
Yeah, Attraction Unleashed, Mystery and Beexter. We have the website. And my Instagram is Rob Beexter, Beckster. And my YouTube is The Beexter Lifestyle. So you can see me in action there, a bit of teaching, lots of stuff to say to people, how to get over mindsets, be out your head, not in your head to get ahead, things like that. And you can get started. And we're very easily contactable because we're social.
Naturally.
So we can some people just want to be a social artist. Some people come to us that are married. They don't want to meet women. They just want to learn it for business and social and networking. So you can apply it to whatever you want in life. But don't let your relationships go unchecked. Don't let your socializing go unchecked because it will go low. And especially after COVID, there's loads of people now that were trapped in a house and they're like a cabin fever. They don't leave the house anymore. Bars are shutting, clubs are shutting, places to meet people aren't as good. I know it's coming back a bit.
Slowly.
But there's an era of people that maybe they were turning 21 and they never really got to go out.
Yeah,
and then that 2 years hit, or 3 for some. And now they're like, I don't know how to socialize and I'm 24, 25.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of them type of people. But it's not scary. We take them through the right ways of doing it so that they're not, totally, in total fear and nervous.
Are these classes in person or is it
In person, live.
Do they
we
have
demo,
to fly
but
to you guys?
Well, we have courses that will take like 25-hour stream, like Netflix. You can stream it, where you can buy it, and it will take you from A to Z. But there's nothing like hands-on live experience. Like I guess if you're meeting clients or training
it's like
people,
doing this remote. It doesn't feel the
it's
same.
not as good as it.
Yeah.
You know.
So where are the classes? If people were interested, is it
all
LA,
over the
Miami,
world?
Vegas?
All over the world. Yeah, everywhere in the world. We've done it in Peru. You know, Brazil.
Wow.
We did South America, tour Scandinavia. We're in a lot. Helsinki is one of our favorite places in Finland, next to Sweden. It's an amazing place to do training. People are very social there. London, of course.
Where is the least social place?
North Korea.
You would think. Any great piece of advice you'd like to leave our viewers?
Yeah, I get
Or
out the
pointers
house.
or tricks?
Yeah, just get out the house. Use the wanted or needed opener.
The what?
Watch it back. The one I just the two I
Yeah.
actually the wanted or needed and the 3 criteria, which is normally we're really 5 criteria there. But you don't want to overwhelm them. I've got 5 things that I like about someone. But you can make your own criteria. So have a criteria for yourself. Try and live by it. It's flexible, so be open-minded.
Give us a cheat code. What's a good criteria we can copy that's kind of generic enough that everyone can use?
Well, for example, open. So your opener will be, it could be a quick one, like they're the second best shoes I've seen today. Who's got the first? This guy, you know, or even just like a playful one across the room. If it's loud, you can be like peekaboo one. And if they do it back, that means you can go and talk to them. The game is afoot.
Yeah.
What was funny when you were young seems to be funny again, right? Especially when you're out in a party. So it just is funny. So just be silly, be funny, be open-minded. Don't take stuff seriously. Don't feel that they've rejected you because they don't know you. It's personal if a year down the line they go, I don't want to ever see you again.
Yeah.
Right? So don't take it that way. Speak to lots of people. It's 12 sets, tells 12 groups of people a night is the game.
So you got to talk to 12
So
people
12 groups a day. Same if you're networking. Talk to 12 groups or 12 people.
per day.
Yep. And imagine what your life will be like after a month and then a year and then 2 years, speaking to that many people. How many contacts? I mean, it's very hard to be poor after that because your contacts will be, you're connecting people. You know, I went to Bali and there's a place in Bali called Ubud and it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the forest. We hired a mega mansion. It was right at the top. And within 4 hours, we had all high networking individuals there, you know, socialites, Instagram people and so on. And it was an amazing party. No alcohol, green tea, vegetarian food. There was some lamb actually. And it was a great event. And, you know, there were couples coming, people met women on it. And it was great. So start your own parties at least once a week. That's the aim. Have something that you're inviting people to. So you're the main guy, you're the connector, and people will come every week if you show them a good time. And that way you'll meet other people and they'll bring new people for you to meet. And that is really social circle.
Great. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
for
you
your
coming on,
wisdom.
bud.
Oh, lovely being here. Thank you very much for having me.